I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my horoscope overview for the month of August 2014. So we're in the second half of the year. How quickly it goes. I always used to think it's because I'm getting older, it goes faster, but you know, I think it's just because we try to do much more than what's possible, and you're guilty of that, Aries. You certainly are. So you know, you're such a motivated go-getter type of person that you do try to fit more, you know, in your day than what is humanly possible. Okay, and that's not likely to change much for a while either, because as we've got planets moving and interacting in towards your solar sixth house, which is all to do with productivity and how you go about your day-to-day life, then things are likely to, you know, get a little bit busier. Now, this month in this area of life is your new moon, and that's on the 25th of the month. So later on, there could be some opportunities, can certainly come up, and you know, not before time either, because all of us cardinal signs, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm a cardinal sign, but you know, we've all been under fire, you know, earlier this year around April, May, and leading up to that with the Grand Cardinal Cross. I mean, it's sort of in effect, you know, throughout the year, but I hope things are starting to come together for you. You know, over the last few months or so, you should have started to hopefully see some light at the end of the tunnel, as they say, and start to see that things are falling into place. And you know, sometimes we just have to let life get out of control somewhat to be able to pick the pieces up and put them back, you know, in the way that we want them. So there's one thing for sure that I've learned over my life: when you're in extreme chaos, then guess what? Your life is changing. And you know, change doesn't have to be bad. Change is good. I mean, if you don't rise to the occasion and pick yourself up and make some changes, then you tend to stagnate. And as a very close Aries girlfriend of mine says, you know, one of her favorite sayings, that old cliche that says, you know, if you want to do something different, then you've got to do something different. You know, you keep doing the same old thing, then you're going to get the same old thing. And that's straight from an Aries, and it's true, and it's very true for Aries as well. And although, you know, life can be challenging at times, you know, it does lead you to a better space, and that's exactly what's happening throughout this year, Aries. Okay. Now, also in this area of your chart, the Sun is going to move in there on the 23rd, Mercury, the communication planet, on the 16th, and Venus, you know, a little bit longer, about another month or so. I don't have that exact date in front of me. So it's very much to do with getting yourself organized, very much to do with just pulling in your energies, re-looking at your goals, and, you know, just saying to yourself, well, what is it, you know, what is it I really, truly want to do? Because, you know, if you're lucky enough in life to do what you love, then that's when you're inspired to really live life, okay? And that's what you can do at the moment. You can really get in touch with that. And, you know, you might think, well, I just, you know, redid my goals earlier this year. Well, you know what? Life changes, and so does your attitude, and you want to allow yourself that flexibility to have those changes in your life, because that's what keeps life interesting. It's people, things, and situations that are different and changeable in your life. So that's what keeps it exciting and as I said, interesting. Now, this sixth house area is also an area where you want to look after yourself a little bit better. Okay, so certainly you try to do more than what's, you know, more than what you can. That's sort of pretty typical for an Aries. But in the sixth house, what can happen is if you do overwork, because it's about getting yourself organized on a work level and increasing and improving your productivity, but you don't want that to have an adverse effect on your health and well-being. Okay, so there's a real lesson here of balance. just to get that balance in your life, and make sure that you're not spending all of your time in one area, whether it's to do with work, home, or whatever it is. So you want to make sure that it's more rounded, and you broaden your horizons that way. So it's very important over this next month to ensure that you have that level of balance that you can work towards, okay? All right, let's move back a bit, have a look. We'll start with the 4th house, your home, family, domestic scene. Venus is in this area, so just until the 12th, it's going to transit into the next sign. So while it's still in this area early in the month, it gives you an opportunity, or prompts you to focus a little bit more on your home environment. Now this can also mean self-nurturing, okay? So and quite often when I'm looking at a personal chart, for instance, we'll get layer upon layer upon layer that just reinforces in your life what's happening at this point in time, and the options and possibilities that you can look at. So here's another sort of layer which is saying, don't let your own needs, whether they be health, well-being, nurturing, or social, or just that balance in your life, don't let it fall to the bottom of the list. So easy to do. So just something to be really conscious of. And this month, I'm going to give you some homework, as I do in the daily overviews. And this month, every single week, regardless of what's happening in your chart anywhere, make sure you do something really special for yourself. Make a point of it. Think about it on the Saturday or the Sunday, the weekend, whatever day you consider to be your Sabbath, and think, okay, well, what am I going to do that's just special and nurturing just for me, either today or over this next week, and make a point of that. I mean, for some people it could be quite extravagant. For other people it could be simply locking the bathroom door and having a bath, with some beautiful scented candles, or or reading a book, or going for a run, or whatever. So whatever it is for you, make sure that you do it. Right now, so there's a heap of activity, or placements and activity, sitting in your solar 5th house. This is a very creative area of your chart. It also governs children. And it's if you're looking for love, then Venus is going to move into this area on the 12th. It's very much a position of your chart where you can meet literally the love of your life, okay? So just going back to your health and well-being, you want to make sure your personal image is up to date as well. Good time this month to have a little focus on that too, and say, is there anything you want to change and update, just your overall style. And when you're looking for love, you want to sort of think about the style or type of person you want to attract, then turn the mirror back on yourself and say, okay, well, do you have those same qualities that you're asking for someone else, from someone else? And do you think that you would be the type and style of person that you consider your perfect partner would be attracted to? Always a good exercise. All right, now the full moon this month is on the 10th. It's in your 11th house. This is an area where it can give you a little bit of a shake-up with money, and money can come through unexpectedly, and certainly with Mars in your solar 8th house too, gives an indication of partnerships, beneficial partnerships that can come through this month. So watch out for chance meetings, those signs of synchronicity. And, you can just, they're there, but, you've still got to look out for them. Don't let them pass you by. Right in the middle of the month, Venus is going to be conjunct Jupiter. This is a great aspect. I love this aspect. And it's going to be in your 5th house, so it's very much to do with creativity, home, family, and love. So it's quite possible, if you're looking for love, that it can certainly